Dearest Rana, Bryan, and glittering guest.
Oh.
I'll say so.
Thanks.
I adore you completely, and your podcast is the yardstick by which I measure all other podcasts. I am in need of your sagacious advice. Note, a synonym for sagacious is hip, so it can't be code for old. Rana always says when people call her sage, she's like, that's an insult. Everyone knows that sage is like code for like 1,000 years old. Anyway.
Do you know that I've never even heard that word before? I wonder
Sagacious?
if Greta Gerwig has heard it. I know sage, but sagacious in my
Sagacious.
life. I thought that was the union I was in. Are we picketing for them? I don't know what that word means. Continue.
When you have such a love for the SAG strike and for SAG in general, you are a sagacious person. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Also, it's sort of offensive. She is sagacious.
Yeah, it's really rude.
Kill me.
Okay.
I'm in need of your
Go on.
sagacious advice on how to deal with guilt about abandoning a friend.
Oy.
About 6 years ago, I was introduced to a friend at a party. Let's call her Lindsay. She was fun, snarky, a fellow single woman in her mid to late 30s, and we quickly fell into conversations, sharing dating horror stories over cocktails. For the next couple of years, we got together every now and then to drink wine and compare dating notes, which became more frequent when she moved to my neighborhood. Lindsay was a reliable shoulder to cry on as I went through the ups and downs of dating, and I was the same for her. As I got to know her better, though, I started to realize that our approaches to dating were wildly different. She would often joke that I was a great single friend to have because we would never, ever be interested in the same guys. I know taste is subjective, but I feel confident saying she has truly terrible taste in men. She was always impressed by the most superficial qualities, e.g., rich, tall, self-assured. By the way, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, what an idiot.
I know.
What an absolute moron. Yeah, go
At
on.
the expense of more meaningful indications of character, and would end up in situation after situation where she was being treated awfully. Okay, that's
enough.
different.
Yeah.
I will share details in the postscript so you have a better idea, but don't want to share on air in case she hears this. She always claimed to want a serious relationship, but she continuously ended up involved with men who it could not have been clear were not interested in a serious relationship with her. I know this is something a lot of people fall into at various times in their lives, and I certainly have stuck around in my fair share of situations longer than I should have. But this was literally every person Lindsay dated, and she didn't ever seem to realize it was a problem until the guy ended things, and then she'd be a drunk, crying mess over it,
Oh, Lord.
and would, quote, swear off men.
What if this was my friend? Like, the more you're reading it, like, in case she hears this, I'm going, what?
She's hosting this.
Yes. She's
She's hearing it.
A white cabbage dress. I'm going, read that last part again. Take the last part first. What?
Eventually,
Okay,
I found a wonderful partner and have been in the healthiest, happiest relationship of my life for a few years now. Lindsay still seems to be in exactly the same place she always was. What worries me is that she's now in her 40s. Disgusting.
Literally, I'm dying. I'm like fuming. The further you're going into
I am
this,
too, actually.
I'm really mad. Okay, yeah, keep going. What the fuck?
You were exactly. Yet still seems to think that the entire goal of a date is to make the guy sexually attracted to her. This makes me really sad because she's a lovely, caring person with a good heart, but obviously has some deep insecurities about her value. By the way, I love that this letter started with, "Can I abandon this person?"
She's one of the greatest people I know. I literally cannot stomach her.
Cannot look at her anymore. She'll show me chats she's been having with men on apps, and they're often hypersexual, which would be totally fine if she was looking just to hook up, but I know she wants a partner. Breaks my heart because I want her to be happy, but I truly don't see her ending up in a loving, stable, mutually respectful relationship if she continues to operate this way. I'm very wary of being the friend who's finally in a good relationship and thinks that gives her license to tell other people how to live their lives. I've done a lot of therapy and work on myself, but I still know that the reality of finding someone comes down to a lot of luck. I don't want to come off condescending or judgmental to her, so instead I've just kind of been avoiding her. Lindsay still sends me memes all the time about dating and how terrible men are on Tinder, etc.
That's annoying. In your 40s, grow the fuck up a little bit.
I agree.
Gotta grow up. Okay, go on.
Right. She basically sends me wine mom stuff, but single gal edition, which I just don't know how to react to anymore.
That's
It's not
deadly.
where I'm at in my life. It is. And it's not good for anybody. And I don't think it's a great mental space for her to be in either. So I don't want to encourage it by responding positively, but don't know what other option there is. So I just send a laughing emoji. The other thing, and I feel so guilty saying this, is that I often think of that idea that you're the average of the people you spend your time with. I do not want to think of Lindsay as someone who factors into my average or shapes who I am. Ew. I don't want to get bogged down in her.
That's really condescending. Am I allowed to interrupt?
It is. Of course you are.
Listen, okay, I have a lot of this question was written for me to answer. I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm thrilled about it then. I'm glad you
I'm
did
happy
it.
that I'm here for this. Finish and then we can
You
rip
got
this
it.
apart.